Hello everyone, Nathan here, and today we are going to be looking at writing up our own custom functions for Lua. And I know this might seem really confusing, and I mean I could just jump right into the super depths of it and just confuse you guys so bad that you would never want to touch functions, even though they're amazing, just because there's so much they can do. You would just be like, wow, that looked great, but wow, that was so confusing. I'd never be able to figure it out. So instead of doing that, we're gonna do something really simple, almost simple to the point where it's stupid to do, because honestly, it's almost faster just to write it out as an ABM rather than creating it as a function. But once we're done making the function, I'm going to show you how you can then use the function multiple times, but use it differently without changing any code actually. So let's jump in. We are going to be using my new mod, which is now very old. I've kind of just been using this for all sorts of tutorials and stuff. I was going to say it's on GitHub, but no, it's not, because there's no Git folder in here. I should probably put this on GitHub one day, even though it's just a complete mess of utter garbage. I will put all of the code, though, on my website, so be sure to check out the link in the description for the URL so you can get all the code and pretty much just copy and paste and steal it all, because, you know, that's what we do here. Okay, so first things first. If we're going to be making functions, we are going to need to define a, I don't even know what it is, a global variable, I guess, of new mod, and then we just do equals, curly braces, open and closed. And that basically gives any functions a place to exist. So this function actually could be called by other mods as long as it depended upon the new mod. So that's something to know. You will need to have to do functions. Now I believe you can do it without if you write them up differently, but I just do this. It's easier. It works better. Alright. Let's start with the function. As you'll notice in this mod, I already have a function, but this function really, it's pretty lame. It doesn't really do anything. We're going to be looking at a function that you can use to basically pass different variables to, and the function will change what it does, basically. I mean, it'll always do the same basic thing, but the nodes that it's placing or looking for will be different. And so that's really where the power of functions comes in, is that you don't have to keep rewriting the same code to do different things. Okay, so we're going to have a function, and we're just going to call it new mod. Whoops. New mod being the name of the mod. That's usually a good way to preface your functions, so you always know what mod they belong to. And then we're going to call it wonderful replace. Helps if I spell that right. Helps if I don't put square brackets in. Wonderful replace. Okay. So we have a function name. Now we're going to be passing variables to this function. So what variables will we pass? Well, we're going to have a node name that we'll be passing to it. A position, of course. And the node that's on the underside, which we'll just call undernode. Then we're going to need to make some locals. We'll do an under position, which is going to equal, let's see, how do we do positions? We do parentheses, curly braces, x equals pos dot x. I don't know how that extra O got there. Yeah, because we're not changing the x value at all. So the x portion of the position stays the same. Y, which is our up and down, equals pos dot y minus 1. So we're going one node below in the y direction. And then z equals pos dot z without any variation. Now just to explain real quick, because this might be something you haven't dealt with before, the pos variable actually consists of 3 strings. You have the POSX, POSY, and POSZ. So you have 3 sets of numbers, your coordinates, but they're all just represented by the position. So you can make changes to them by kind of splitting it up like this, and then it just truncates it all back into one comma delineated string. So yeah, we're basically just going to the checking, or our under position is one node below the position that this function is being run on, which will be explained a little more in a second when we get to the ABM. Then we need to do a local of under name, which is going to equal Minetest.get node underscore or underscore nil. And then we're going to pass the variable of under position to that. So basically we're getting the position of the node below the node that this function is being called on. And then we're getting the name of that node with the Minetest get node or nil. And if there is no node there, it'll return a nil. Theoretically, I guess that could happen depending on what you're checking for. So yeah, it potentially it could happen, and you'd rather just have it throw an error than crash the game. So yeah, because crashing's not good. Okay, and then we write some actual checking here. If under name dot name, even though I called the variable under name, that is actually not the name. Where it says under name here, we are just getting the, I don't know what it's represented as, a hex string or something. We're getting the what node is in this position, but we're not actually getting its name. Theoretically, I probably could have somehow put that into one line and just had a variable instead of doing it this way, but whatever, it works. I'm not too worried about it. So if the undernode's name equals, and we're using a double equal because we're checking for equality, not assigning a value. A single equal sign means we're assigning a value. Double means we're checking to see if they are the same. If undernode name equals undernode, then what do we want to do? We want to, and you could do anything. I mean, obviously you don't have to do what I'm doing here, but in this case we are going to set a node, and we will set the node in the under position, which again we are checking, so we're pretty much replacing a node when we set node here, but we're going to use set node because that doesn't worry about the metadata or anything of the existing node. We would use, I think it's either replace or switch. I want to say it's replace. You do that if you have to maintain metadata from the node to the new version of the node. And what we're doing here, we're never going to deal with any metadata, so we're just going to set the node. It's a little bit faster, a little less computational cycles and stuff. Okay, so we're setting a node in that position, but we need to define what node we are setting. So we will say the name of this node is node name. And now node name is a variable we're passing on when we call this function. So if that hasn't confused you horribly, we're just going to close the function out with two n's, and we'll save the file. So now we have a function, and this should, just let me launch Minetest real quick here, running it through a terminal, just so I get all the output. Whoops, we weren't supposed to see that. Okay, everything looks like it is running just fine. I'll go ahead and close that. Didn't get a crash. That's really all I was checking for. This function never ran. But even though it never ran, theoretically, if there was some kind of an error in it, a typo, or I forgot something, it potentially would have thrown up an error. Let's write the ABM that calls the function now. So, ABM, I've done a video on ABMs before. There's not anything too different or anything here. We're registering an ABM. Node names equals, what do we want this ABM to be called on? Well, in this case, I'm going to call it on default rail. No, I don't know why. That's just what I picked. We could also do it on a group. Could be done on anything. It really doesn't matter. Our interval, let's set that to 5. And the chance, let's set that to 5. I don't want it going too fast, but we want it fast enough where we can see the changes without having to sit around for hours on end just waiting for something to happen. For some reason I feel like I'm doing something wrong here, but we have an action, we're going to call a function. The function's going to be passing the position, and then is when we actually call our function. So we do new mod dot wonderful replace then parentheses, and then what are we sending through? So let's look back at the function here. And I'm just going to copy these 3 variables, and we will paste them right in here. So our node name. What was node name? That's the name of the node we want to place. So let's go ahead and place default diamond block, because what world doesn't need more diamond blocks? POS we can leave alone. That we're not changing. We just want to pass the position straight through without any modifications. Just has to be included so we can use it. And I just backspaced this without even reading what it was. This was the under node. Okay. So what node needs to be underneath the rail for it to be replaced with the diamond block? Let's say that the rails have to be on top of default dirt. For some reason, I never can type dirt right. Whoops. Dirt with grass. Love autocomplete. Okay, so we have an action there. And then we need to end the action out. Save that. With any luck, I did everything right here. And this will work. Okay, so let's put a rail out on top of dirt with grass. And then wait for a few seconds. Might actually have to wait a few more than a few seconds because I already tested all this code out to make sure it was working, and I put a bunch of diamond blocks under those rails. This is default dirt with grass, yep. Dirt with grass, yep, we got everything spelt right there. Okay, why is this not running? Default diamond block. Well, even if I used a non-legitimate string, it would still run. Okay, so we got a mistake someplace. Well, alright, let's find out where it is. Let's throw a little print function in here. If you remember any of my older videos, I love using print functions because it's so easy to pinpoint where things are. Diamond, let's do diamond block ABM. Alright, and now, ta-da! I'm running Minetest through the terminal, so I get all of the output, and it'll tell me all the prints will go there. So, for example, actually let me change that by doing this. It's telling me here it's running the Suzanne ABM, which is right here, run Suzanne ABM. So what did I do wrong? Oh, I see what I did wrong, and it didn't even give me an error. That's weird. Why would it not give me an error? I did node name. It should be node names. You would think that would have thrown up some kind of a warning error. Oh well. Let's see what happens now. We are connected. Ooh, running diamond block ABM. Woohoo! What is this? I don't remember putting. What? Huh? A little triangle? That's got to be something from some other ABM that I don't remember. And another one. Yeah, I didn't place. This is a brand new world. There's another one over there by that tree. This mod has so many goofy things in it. Like this tab example. I don't know. It came up with something though. Invalid tab header element. O2. Hello everybody. Barrel form spec. I don't know. It's something from some old code and I don't remember what it did. Okay, so let's close that. And let's go ahead and make a new ABM. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just copy and paste this because I'm lazy. I should have left Minetest running because I need to get some other names. Let's see here. What else could we put out that we could make things change? Let's do default fence width. Okay. So we'll run the ABM on default fence _ wood. Yep. Okay. And then what do we want to replace? We don't want to put diamond blocks out. Let's put out a bronze block. Why not? The world needs more bronze blocks, right? Bronze block. Okay. But now, in order for that to place, we want what do we want the fences to have to be on top of? Whoops. Let's say if we want people to get that to work, The fence needs... There's just a lot of grass out here. This is actually a really, really cool world. I would play on this world. Ooh. Mossy cobble. Yes. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So, we will change default dirt with grass to mossy cobble? Is that what it was? Mossy cobble, yes it was. Okay, let's close out the game, save the changes, run the game. Okay, we need some fences, is what we need. Fences. Yeah, give me 10 of those, thank you very much. Let's put one on top of some mossy cobble. Let's put several on top of mossy cobble. Let's see what happens here. Default fence wood. Ooh, hey, look, some bronze blocks have appeared. Yay. And there's another one. Cool beans. Okay, so. Cool. But can it be expanded out? Yes, it can. Yes, indeed it can. Unfortunately, I have no idea if fences are all in a group. So you know what I'm going to do? I don't think this is going to work. Ooh, yes it does. Okay, perfect. Excellent. Wonderful. Okay. We're going to change this ABM. We're going to change it to group fence. Alright, so now any fence piece, and it looks like gates as well, will work. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to have to leave that open because I don't know what any of these names are. We have fence aspenwood. Fence. Okay, so it looks like pretty much they're just putting a name in there. Okay, that works. Okay, let's remove the print statement. Don't need that anymore. We know the ABM's running. Okay, let's do... How do we do this? We need to do... Let me get out my cheat sheet real quick here. Yes, I have a cheat sheet. We need... Yeah, that cheat sheet actually doesn't even have what I need to know. Good. Because it's the wrong cheat sheet, that's why. Okay, well, we are going to do... yeah. Local... You know, I have no idea. Let me find my cheat sheet information here. I just recently learned about how to do this. It's kind of a lie, actually. I recently started doing it. I knew it was doable for quite some time, but only recently really how they worked, and I wrapped my mind around it. Okay, so I have what I need. Local node equals Minetest get node position. If node dot name equals default fence pine wood, then okay, that works. Okay. And then let's do... Do I need to put an end there? Yes, I do. If node... Whoops. Dot name. I need to stop trying to type so fast. I make too many mistakes. Minetest. Get node position. Or wait, what am I doing? No. I just need if node name equals default fence wood, and I'll just do these two. You'll get the idea. With the group, you can use any node name and then call things out from there. Hopefully this isn't super confusing to the point where people are like, I give up. This guy doesn't make any sense. He's going too fast. I can't follow this. This is just silliness. What is he talking about? Why is he doing this? Okay. Let's do... Nope. That's wrong. We want that on this. Okay. What do we want to place? What should we place in world? I don't even know. I'm like asking you a question, as if your voices are going to travel back in time to when I'm recording this and give me advice. Like, what? What is wrong with this guy? Why am I watching? This guy's borderline maniacal? I don't even know how it's pronounced. Which means I probably should be talking about it. Okay. I'm going to call that good. So, let's go ahead and run the things here. Ooh, we got an error. Oh, of course we have an error. I didn't end this out. That's why. Alrighty. It's kind of dark. Let's change the time to morning so I can see what's going on here. Okay. So I'm going to need... I need some other fence material. I need some pine fences. Why, thank you. I do believe I will take 10 of those. And I already have the other fence wood. Okay. So now, if I dig this train track up and throw a wooden fence on top of that diamond block, or any of these diamond blocks, those will theoretically at some point change into messy lamps. If I did this right. And if I do the pine wood fence on the cobble, that should turn into bronze blocks now. Again, if I did this right. Ooh! Yay, I did it right! I have a messy lamp. Woo! And I've got some bronze blocks. Yay! Alright. So, it's an intro. Kind of a longer intro than probably it needed. But I just wanted to give some examples of the things you could do. If you want to see how I use them IRL instead of just a goofy example mod, check out my Desert Life mod. I'll have that linked on my website. I have, at the time of recording, there is one function that does plant spread. And it's a rather long function. And actually, you know what? Let me show it to you real quick, because that's my cheat code information here. It is 41 lines. Well, I guess not quite 41. More like 37, because I have 4 lines of information explaining what's going on. But this pretty much runs in an ABM. So I have an ABM here for... Currently, I have 2 types of cacti. There are these barrel cacti and this prickly pear. When they grow to their largest size, they spread. Rather than writing 41 lines in both ABMs, that'd make more sense to make a function with the ABM and just pass the values. So, in a real-life example here, we have Desert Life Spreads, name of the function. We're passing Desert Life Prickly Pear Cacti 1 and SP. That pretty much just means it's size number 1, and the SP stands for spreadable because they only grow on desert sand. Position stays the position. Default desert sand, those are nodes it can grow onto. And then air is nodes it's allowed to replace. So if there's a dry shrub or something or another cacti growing next to it, it won't kill that to grow this one. It'll just leave it be. And yeah, it just calls this function. And then the prickly pear does it too. And you only have to have it once. So it makes things a little tidier. It's easier to maintain code if you make a change someplace. You realize, I could more effectively do this some other way. It automatically, all your ABMs are updated because they're just calling a function, and you don't have to go through 4 different files and update your functions that you just typed out in every single one. Or, I mean, I'd imagine you'd copy and paste rather than typing it every single time, but maybe your control C button's broken. Like your control doesn't work and you can't do edit copy because that's broken, and for some reason you just can't copy things, so you had to actually physically type it. Way easier doing this. So, yeah. That wraps this tutorial up. Hopefully it helped you guys out if you had any questions about it. If you still have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments here or on my website. I leave the comments open on tutorial videos. So, yeah. Hit me up if you got any issues, any problems. I'll see what I can do to give you a hand.
thanks for watching my video. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, would you consider giving it a thumbs up? I appreciate all those I can get. I'm on social media, peoples. Follow me. Google+, Twitter, Facebook. I always post all of my videos on those platforms, or links to my videos on those platforms, as soon as they go live. Which this means prior to the release on YouTube. You can watch them before anybody else. You can also visit my website, nathansalpat.com, and see all my videos there. A really nice website, if I do say so myself. I did design it, so I might be a little bit biased, but I still think it's decent. If there is a mod you would like me to review, just click on the Request a Review button right there. Takes you to a form on my website. You just type in the information, hit the Submit button. I get it, look at it, record a review, post it online. You watch. We all profit. The world's a better place. Yeah, I don't know about that last bit, but hey, do it anyways. You got nothing to lose. I'll catch you next time.